This looks to be a good match. Definitely one I'm going to want my new sideboard for, though, given that this is Andrew Cuneo, the blue-white mage of choice. Most people. Let's. 1 second here. Okay, I had to turn off sounds, but we're snap keeping the. It's not Lion Witch Wardrobe. So the line from BBD was if you go Fleecemane Lion and Offenza Rhino, it's the Lion, the Witch, and then the Wardrobe, and this is because it shuts the door. Surrock also does that, but this isn't quite that hand, but it's really good. So I have my plays lined up for the first few turns. I don't especially want to scry into an untapped land, even though it does curve out perfectly. So I think I just lead on the Citadel rather than the Temple of Malady to try, because I think there's just like too big of a range for what I'd want to scry into this game. Though I guess I should have figured with Cuneo being on blue-white that it's very reasonable that I would want to scry out of that card. Probably getting Last Breath to main phase. Guess I could have always played with 2 mana up to avoid the Last Breath, but I don't think that's worth it in that situation. I'm gonna have to find his list somewhere. I don't know if he has Banishing Light or not. That's a cute card. This is like the most gainsay deck of all gainsays. I don't think there's a reason to overextend into my opponent's 5th mana here. Yeah, I don't want that card. Give me a second to look at the list. Okay, so I could play around end hostilities. I don't think I'm okay with just passing here. Because he has Elspeth and hostilities. Those are like the 2 big ones to kind of pincer me on that attack. Now I play Warden as the crappy throwaway creature, and then into Fleecemane, which is very hard for him to kill because he has Perilous Vault. Or Perilous Vault's an out, but like I don't think there's a main deck Ugin. That's fine. It's like my worst creature. Is that a scry to top? Great. I get to leave a downfall here. If I downfall the Elspeth after it kills my creature, great. This is not ideal. By the way, the other reason... So I think I just jammed both of these. So I think the reason I did it before differently was because I was playing around end hostilities on the end hostilities turn and then forcing my Cuneo into being off Elspeth on the Elspeth turn. But I think that at this point this is okay. Um, especially because it gives him a one-turn window to have the end hostilities for the lion. So I probably just go big on this right now. I don't see a reason not to. Just gonna land out of my deck with this fetch. Another green. You always fetch more green for Rakshasa. Dig through time. Ugh. Partially problematic here. Though I guess Cunio's now in double Rhino zone. So there was a snap off that was probably an Elspeth, which is a bit of a problem. Oh, that's fine. So I'm actually, I think I'm going to choose target player, choose target creature. I'm gonna do this just to get him into. Um, so this attack puts him at 1, which is important because 1 is. And playing this land is important too because it lets me draw. And the 7 is the point where I get to draw Fleece and then immediately activate it. But that attack 1 puts him out of range of playing a Radiant Fountain and surviving a Rhino hit. I'm okay doing this rather than waiting, even though it's probably going to get counterspelled. I'm waiting for the dissolve to drop here. Yeah. That's not good. I don't think making my opponent move out of position there is super important. Because I think that even though there's been a dig through time resolve, that getting into forcing that action right there is really important. Yeah, getting dig through timed is bad. Getting secure the wasted is even worse. This is the 3 draw steps to Rhino or bust. I do like secure the waste is just such a Cunio card. This card actually is pretty good right here. 1, 2. So I'm going to. Oh my gosh. Why is this card in play? So I'm doing that right there. I should have played the land, actually. That was a marginal mistake. So the reason for doing that upkeep was that if I do that and I get last breath in response, I have to reactivate, which prevents me from re-upping on that activation this turn. Which I don't want to trade. I'd rather just wait on the Warden attacking here until it can be a 15. But I wanted to minimize the odds of Cunio being able to take me off of this 8/8 for a turn. So I've just moved into combat, but I wanted to double check his Pro Tour list to see if this activation is getting blown up by anything other than Valorous Stance, which it isn't. Okay. So if Kunio had a Valorous Stance, he would have used it before, because the 8 damage that is getting in because of those creatures is much more important than this block. Why did I tap like that? Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. I was supposed to leave up double black, but there we go. Warden of the First Tree, 13/13 trample. Hiya. Um, and like I said, if there was a Valorous Stance waiting in the wings, it would have happened already. So this is the board plan here. In. Wingmate Rock might not actually be great here, but we'll see. I don't think I want Drowns for these, Secures, even though they're good in the long game. Ultimate Price, bad. Valorous Stance, fine. Obzon Charm. So, Dramoka's Charm, atrocious. Obzon Charm plus... We board out... It's interesting because boarding out this Urborg, like we want more lands because we're going long, but boarding out the Urborg hurts more here than against blue-black because we're relying on them having an Urborg to potentially fix our mana, so there's still this 2 density in the matchup. But there are Dragon Lord Orgities in Andrew's deck. We are leaving in 6 answers to Dragon Lord between Obzon, or actually 8 with Elspeth. So there's 8 ways to kill a Dragon Lord. Good. All the threats are in. You still want some downfalls for Elspeth. Valorous Stance still counters a couple things. Actually, I think I'd rather have another downfall in this matchup than a Valorous Stance because I do need to kill Elspeth here. And there's a lot of exile removal in Andrew's deck. So I'm going to go with this. It's one off of our board plan for blue-black from the actual tournament. So this keep isn't exceptional, but it's good enough. It does things. That's a good draw. We don't really need to Thoughtseize immediately, so I'm just going to get the tap land in. I actually like Thoughtseizing. Thoughtseizing for position here better. Leaving this up because of the scry actually mattering. So there's a card on top. See, now that I have the extra Thoughtseize, I like firing off the first just to see what's up. So I see... The second one's definitely getting saved for later. Devour, Stroke, Null, Stance, Glare, Blue-White. So... I want to leave Kunio with the worst possible answers. I think the one I can create the biggest mismatch with is Nullify being removed, because Nullify just lets him sit around and do nothing. Stance does kill a lot of... these all answer Rhino for 2. I'm going to kill the Nullify here. Though... Yeah, the Stroke is better versus our Planeswalkers if we draw one, though. It's just that... So if I sneak in a Lion, it's probably getting glared. You know what? Actually, opening up the hole to Planeswalkers is more important, I think. Rather than... I'm not going to, get a small creature through this setup. So I just play this, and I EOT draw 2. Run some Rhinos into some removal. Ooh. Black, white, green. So I took Stroke. And this is one of these, blue-black games that are, well, I guess ooh. So I like... Yeah, I like this mismatch I'm forcing here. So I Thoughtseize, I take the Nullify, Oh, there's a Dragon Lord that I don't really care about. This then forces a Devouring Light, and then I get to rock doubled up next turn. So there was a... So there's no Nullify, but there's a Surge and an Ojutai. Yeah, this is definitely the mismatch I want to force. Especially because Kunio's hand is full of cards that trade 1-for-1. And Rock is very good against those, but not the best against the rest of the cards in Kunio's hand. Yeah, and then it's also great against this Surge. That's fine. So I think I'm supposed to Surrock here and just put him under the gun. Oh, I guess there's a stance waiting for me. Yeah, I don't mind this situation. Yeah, all that was fine. Those are cards that are going to have to go anyway. So there's a... So black, green, white. This is great because the Anafenza not only is not overextending, because we have the extra and it's like a dead card anyways into a Wrath. We are like only a half a card down on the bird anyways. So there's a Surge and an Ojutai that I know about. But it lets... If Kunio were to play an Ojutai here, it would make the bird a 4/5 able to attack. That's not good. Because I know what's going to happen here. I know what the last card in Kunio's hand is now that this happened. Now that the Surge didn't come out right there. Because this is an Elspeth that's going to minus and kill both of our creatures. So that's like one of the best cards I could draw. So I take the Surge. Then I just drain him. The card in his hand is Ojutai, which he can't cast into the Rhino without losing it in combat, which I'm okay with. And then I have the other Rhino for backup lethal. That also works. Yeah, I'm gonna run this out. If the top deck was Disdainful Stroke, that's fine, because that would hit the Rhino basically at any point anyways. And then if this sticks, yeah, he's just super out of position here. That's fine. I think I just play the other one. I don't think it gets much better than that. Pew pew!